Warner Brothers has put out two brand new Blu-rays, first time to Blu-ray movies that are both beloved films, although in completely different ways. What we have here are two movies that both start with the letters GRE, The Green Mile and Gremlins. Now, I love both these movies in completely different ways and for completely different reasons. The Green Mile is Frank Darabont returning to the genre he does best, which is, of course, Stephen King prison movies, or as he describes it in the commentary, the world's smallest genre. I think The Green Mile is a fantastic film. I think Frank Darabont does some amazing work here. The cast is amazing, especially Tom Hanks and Michael Clarke Duncan. But really, it's a movie that works in every aspect, especially the fact that it's 3 hours long. I don't give a lot of movies that are 3 hours long a second chance. I don't generally go back and revisit them. But I was anxious to watch The Green Mile again because I hadn't seen it since it was in theaters. What I found is it holds up exceptionally well. This is a moving, fascinating character study of a movie, and even at 3 hours, it never feels long or plodding or dully paced. I think it's a really impressive movie, and while it's not quite The Shawshank Redemption, it is worth a watch. If you haven't seen this film, I definitely recommend you pick it up, especially on Blu-ray, because it's a fantastic one. First of all, it comes in Warner's book packaging, which I'm a really big fan of. It gives you nice photos from the film, some trivia about the making of the movie, some essays, and of course some biographies of the actors and talent involved. On top of that, you get a number of special features. Now, none of them are exclusive to Blu-ray. They're all ported over from the special edition DVD of The Green Mile that was released a few years back. But you still get a lot of really great stuff, including commentary from Frank Darabont, deleted scenes, a really nice half-hour-long documentary called Walking the Mile, a few extra featurettes about creating the film, some Tom Hanks makeup tests, the screen test from Michael Clarke Duncan, and not only the teaser trailer and the theatrical trailer, but actually a featurette about the famed Lost teaser trailer. So it's a pretty nice package that includes a lot of extra features. The film looks and sounds great, too. The movie's 10 years old. It doesn't look a day over a year old, except for the fact that maybe there's a little bit more grain than you might expect to see on a brand new movie. But it fits this film perfectly. It's not a flaw in the transfer, it's how the film is supposed to look. Colors are saturated just perfectly. The film is not a colorful movie, so everything has kind of a dim feel to it, but you never feel like you're watching a movie that's faded or aged. Shadow delineation is excellent, and overall imagery is quite clear and quite sharp. The soundtrack also perfectly represents the film. This is not an action movie. It's a fairly quiet film. It's a character study. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of sweeping string orchestral music, but the film is represented well in that the surround sound kicks in when it needs to, and instead of coming at you with loud, bombastic sounds, it really works hard to build an ambiance and an atmosphere, and it really helps bring the film and the 1930s to life. So I'm a really big fan of the technical presentation that Warner has put together here for The Green Mile. Next, we have Gremlins, a completely different movie, also a movie that I love. This horror comedy is a lot of fun. It doesn't quite hold up as well as The Green Mile, but I have to say, it holds up pretty well. It's a fun movie. You have to look past the fact that some of the special effects are dated, and the fact that the logic of the film with the don't feed them after midnight really never quite makes sense. But hey, we've been watching and enjoying this movie for almost 25 years now, knowing that the whole time, so why should I start to complain now? The transfer on this film is pretty good. The movie does show its age a little bit, but you get overall pretty good, clean imagery. No real major digital artifacts, very little in the way of dust or debris on the print, and overall what it looks like is a nice standard high-definition transfer of a movie that's aged a little bit. In terms of surround sound, you get a pretty good true HD 5.1 surround soundtrack. You get some nice use of the rear channels with the action scenes, with some of the more obvious sound effects. It's not the most subtle mix in the world, but it does its job, and it does give your speakers a little bit of a workout. Again, like The Green Mile, it does not include any new extra features. What you get are 10 minutes of deleted scenes, a making-of featurette, 2 commentaries, one with the director and the cast, and one with the director, the producer, and the special effects artist, and then a photo storyboard gallery and some theatrical trailers. It's not a bad supplement package, but it's certainly nothing to write home about. I'm a little disappointed that the Gremlins 25th Anniversary Edition, however, did not include the book-style packaging like The Green Mile. I think Gremlins is pretty firmly ensconced in the public consciousness by this time, and people are fans of this movie. I would have liked to have seen it in the book-style packaging. I know it's not a prestige film like The Green Mile, but it is a very popular one that I imagine they could have found a lot of cute and fun trivia facts about to fill in a booklet with it. Overall, both these films are a lot of fun. well, The Green Mile isn't so much fun, but it's an excellent movie. Gremlins is a lot of fun. They're both fantastic Blu-rays. Whether you own the films or not, I highly recommend picking both of these up. They're great additions to your collection.